Ciao, guys. Welcome back to the ARTFUL Podcast. It's Matteo, your host. And before we go on with the new episode, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, support the channel like that. It's really important. And no further ado, let's go on with the show. I know you through, you had an open studio visit.
Yes, I know. Yeah. I
Couple of
remember you, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago or something. That's when I saw your art and I was like, oh wow, that looks fantastic. So I was really curious about your artwork. In this new episode of the Artful Podcast, we have Tim with us, and as I said, I met Tim through the Open Visit studios that you had with your colleagues in your studio, which is a fantastic space. I was blown away. It's massive. How many artists are there in the studio?
I don't know exactly, maybe 8, 10, 15. Not everybody took part at the studio, open studios, because some are so busy that they not really like to open their studio for the public. But, yeah, it's really huge and yeah, it's a nice place. Yeah, it's a industrial building from 1917. It was a fabric for tins
Oh,
and
okay.
and vegetables and so on, putting in the tin. So yeah.
Yeah. I know about the studio visit because of Nicole Vandel.
Yeah.
I know her pretty well, and yeah, that's how I found out about the space, and yeah, it was great. Anyway, let's go with the first question. I would like you to just introduce yourself, your background, your studies, if you had some academic studies, or how your journey started, basically.
Yeah. I start at academy in Münster. I studied 4 semester painting by Ulrich Erben. Ulrich Erben is a abstract painter, and in the moment he has a show at Bastian Gallery in the south of Berlin. He's a really abstract painter, and it's really timeless paintings. But he's now, I think he's 83 or something like that. But it's really really good paintings you can see there. And after 4 semester, I went to Düsseldorf to Jan Dibbets. Jan Dibbets is a Dutch artist. He is very conceptual and makes photos and land art. But in his class, everybody was painting. Really a painting class. And after studying, I moved to Berlin in 1999. So
Okay.
that's since that time I'm living in Berlin, more or less. Yeah.
Where are you originally from?
I'm born in south of Germany, in
Okay,
Nuremberg, close to Nuremberg in Bavaria. So, but I
nice.
want to move to
Berlin.
Düsseldorf. Düsseldorf was really interesting time there to study and to
Yeah.
during the time you study, you get so many contacts to other artists, and it's really important.
Yeah, it is. My experience in an academy was great for that. I met so many great artists. We had like a sharing studio, so the atmosphere that it creates, especially as a young artist, it's really important. And you meet so many people with different ideas, and you share the ideas, and you make art together. So the whole at the beginning, I think it's really important for young artists to have that creative connection with other people, which is really important, I think. So when I came to your studio, you had some paintings that were really interesting. So first of all, how do you work usually? What's your routine?
I mean, my work complex maybe is divided in two parts. On the one hand, I really do large wall paintings, and on the other hand, I do really paintings like on canvas or on paper or new materials like grids and transparencies and so on. But for the wall paintings, in the moment, I do a lot of pitches for Kunst am Bau, you called it in Germany. Like in the moment, you can see also in the Humboldt Forum, there's a huge wall painting from 15 by 10 meters. And I painted the former facade from the Palast der Republik on the wall. And
Amazing.
this is, on the one hand, I really do these wall paintings. On the other hand, I do this mostly architecture-based paintings. So, yeah.
How do you approach this like huge different size? Do you have in mind your same? It's the same process, or you approach different size with different way of doing your paintings? So from the small size to the big size, how is that? In your mind, is it the same, or you have a different approach?
I mean, in the mind, it's the same, but the material is different because in the small paintings and all the canvas painting are mostly painted with oil color because it's more intensive and can bring more light in it. And for the wall paintings, I use always acrylics because acrylics is much more easier for huge walls and so on. But but the concept is similar.
Why are you interested in this architectural spaces with like I was really interested with the when I saw them it was really interesting with the light and dark and the shadows, light and shadows differences in the painting. I think they were really interesting. And why are you interested? What does it inspire you about these spaces, architectural spaces that you have to paint it?
I mean, times ago, I went through cities and or through Berlin and saw things and make photos, and after that, I start to paint. But now I try really to find more political and historical buildings to put them in a special meaning. So that's not only light and nice painting. So that's more background or more philosophical things, themes, or sometimes also how should I call it, subjects that I don't understand, or I look for subject like emptiness and power, isolation, or something like that, because painting for me is thinking in images. So
nice, really interesting. And did you you mentioned that my next question was if your practice, do you think it changed drastically from when you started till now? You kind of mentioned that it did because you're searching for the background of the building, and you try to capture the story behind the building. So how do you think that your practice changed through time?
Yeah, I think it's changed through time that I have less time to paint because I also work at the UDK and teaching, and have another teaching job in Nordrhein-Westfalen. It's at Wuppertal, it's a HBK. So I have really less time for painting. And so I have really make precise sketches before and thinkings before I start to paint. And because it's also a question of time. But this also forces me, also this teaching job forces me more thinking about what I want and what I can do and what I want to get. So it's really interesting that during the teaching jobs I really developed more like painting in less time, but select it's also a question of selection. I mean, it's also, we have so many influence every day, and the quality of an artist is to select the
Yeah.
right thing. So
Yeah, it's interesting when the artist, professional artist, still teaching. I think it's really nice for artists, for example, like you, that has a huge background and he started this like a long time ago, to have a perspective of on the young artists coming up in schools, and then you can see the development on artists. And do you think do you see that in school? Do you think it's valuable for you to see young artists with anger, they want to paint, they want to do art, and then you as a more professional artist with the background that it's more established in the art scene? um do you think it's important for you to see the young artists that are now developing works?
yeah, it's important. It keeps me also fresh because they
Mm,
really have a different view on the world, and so I'm really more in the yeah in their context too, and get and think about what they how they perceive the world. So that's really interesting.
mm,
Yes,
nice, great.
it keeps
Yeah.
fresh in a way. So.
Yeah, it's really special. What does what's your biggest influence has yeah, as an artist?
I mean, that's always difficult, but I really love the light of Edward Hopper. You
Mm,
know, this American artist. I mean, it's really, I really like the paintings and the light. And also, I like the coolness from Luc Tuymans. It's a Belgian artist and
hmm.
painter. So, yeah, and he's all, in a way, he's also political. And that's really, I appreciate very
Yeah,
much.
when I think about for my background, because I'm an Italian artist and I do portrait. When I think about light and dark, I always think of something like Caravaggio or chiaroscuro technique, and it was always
Yeah.
applied on portrait. And it's really interesting now that you mentioned those names. That it's true. Those paintings have a huge dark light contrast, and they're really important. And for me, obviously, I do portrait, so I think about portrait. And it's
Yeah,
interesting that you
yeah.
do architecture, obviously, and you think about painters. They do architecture. It's really funny. Um,
But I also like, do you know Morandi, the
yeah,
Italian?
yeah,
I really like the quality of his grays and the different grays is really fantastic. He's
yeah.
the colorness is really interesting.
Yeah, you can find what you really, yeah, your influence from even different paintings that you do. And how so why did you choose painting and not, I don't know, you jumped into more sculpture or more drawings? Why did you choose painting? And if you use a specific one like oil over acrylic. But my question would be, why did you choose painting? Why were you attracted to painting?
That's really a good question. I yeah, I love the color and I love the quality of color, and also this in the moment it's not possible to print it, or the digital pictures images from painting. It's always you're never close to the real color. You have to go to exhibition or to studio visits to see what painting can be, and that's the quality. And it's also maybe it's also a really slow medium, uh,
Mm,
because it takes really time to do. My huge paintings takes time. It takes sometimes months to develop the painting, and that I really like. I mean, it's quite different to all the speedness in our civilization in the moment. Everything is faster and faster and faster, and
mm.
painting is really maybe it's really the opposite. So
Yeah, for you is a break from reality, and
yeah, maybe, yeah,
it's a
maybe, yeah,
slow
yeah,
down of
yeah.
really fast pacing society. I can see that, because yeah, when I paint is everything pause and everything is okay. We can take time. We don't need to rush. And then as soon as I finish painting, we need to go there, and then and do this and this. So yeah, I can see that that's really important for painters to realize. It's a really a slow process and little step by step, and then it takes times, especially if you do a bigger size as well. Obviously, will be more time consuming.
And maybe also in my paintings, the light is it's like frozen in a way, yeah.
Yeah,
So
they capture the moment, and
yeah,
yeah. Sometimes it's funny that when I do when I see a painting that I did uh, some time ago, a long time ago, I kind of remember the moment of when I was painting, and it's the connection with like memories between the painting that's now finished in the present with the, but there is the whole past, and then you can connect with the past when you were painting.
yeah, yeah.
It's a kind of like a snap of time of your life, and you in your mind you can connect that. Tim, why what do you have planned for the future? For Do you have any exhibition? What you But mostly, what do you want to do with your art, with your paintings? Do you have a specific goal that you want to achieve?
I mean, in the moment, I have two Kunst am Bau pitches for the one is for the new building for the finance ministerium here in Berlin, and
Mm-hmm.
the other one is for prison in Bavaria. It's a huge concrete wall, like 10 by 20 meters in
Ooh,
front of a prison.
it's gonna be a lot of work.
Yeah, and so and that's I have to develop the idea and to make sketches, and it have to be all in architecture sketches and so on, and that I have to do the next 2 3 weeks, and yeah, and then I hope to go to studio, and yeah, I want to do all more with this different layers, like this grids you have seen in the studios,
Mm,
some yeah, some transparent, also transparencies, and maybe on also painting on plexiglass in the back
mm,
or in the front, so that you have more light, and then also if you paint on plexiglass, you have also good connection to the space, because you have the mirroring in the glass, and you have the wall behind the glass, and so
mm.
on. That's really interesting, and
Yeah,
to
you can
combine.
see through, and yeah, it's
Yeah,
always, yeah, when I see the kind of paintings on I saw some on a Miro or something like that. It's always super cool. It's super interesting to see, and you can, if you want to focus on that, you can push it further. That will be super interesting to see, for sure. But when you, for example, you have an exhibition, or do you uh, like to explain your paintings and the reason why you paint to the audience, or do you like to give the audience the opportunity to use their imagination and to make that connection?
uh, maybe I like the audience to make
Mm,
their own ideas and perception, and if they ask, I can explain. Sometimes maybe it's interesting to get some more information, maybe where this architecture facade is coming from, or something like that, that they get if they don't know it. But usually then you have a title or something, and you can start to think about it. I did a small series about the BND building here in Berlin. It's this huge building in Mitte, and it's also interesting if you know that it's top secret, everything during the architecture process and so on. Then maybe you can feel the power of that building,
mm,
or the fear of that building.
mm.
So
That's, yeah, that's super interesting. I always like give the opportunity to the audience to see the artwork and to make their own opinion, and then maybe come to me and maybe just share the ideas, and then we can talk about it. It's always interesting to see a fresh eye looking at your artwork with their own mind and have a new take on your artwork. But yeah, before we go, I don't want to take too long of your day, Tim. If you want to promote anything for people to go and see, if you have a website or Instagram or anything that you want to promote.
Yeah, Instagram is always fresh on Instagram, and it's also a website. It's my name, and you can find it easily because
It's your name.
It's my name.
Yeah, wonderful. I will put
Okay.
all the link in the description so people can just go and see and check your artworks. Please go, guys. It's super. They're super good. And thank you again, Tim, to be part of the podcast. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon, hopefully.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.